Man. I don't know what to talk about to open this one.
No, you should cold open the fucking Kiryu's theme instead.
You should just cold open it the Skyrim way, where just like we fade in and it's just like, hey, you're finally awake. All the viewers who know anything about memes in Skyrim will be like, oh, damn.
You were trying to raid this recording session, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us, and that thief over there.
The fucking Skyrim opening is like the new age Rickroll, dude, I swear.
Fade to black.
Yeah, no, it's a fade in. It fades in, you're on the wagon,
No,
he's like...
anything that fades into black and then it fades to Skyrim.
Oh, God. That shit makes me laugh. I always shake my head when it, like, there's, like, a fade into the Skyrim opening. And I'm just like, as soon as I see the wagon, I'm like, say it. Say the line, hey, you're finally awake. And I'm like, yay!
Did you ever even play Skyrim?
I've never played Skyrim, no.
One of the few individuals not grasped by Todd Howard's magnum opus.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not that much of a magnum opus. Even if it's on, like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could play that shit on, like, a microwave nowadays.
No, not as much as Resident Evil 4, though.
I would say Skyrim is a lot more fucking ported than RE4 is. RE4 is definitely up there, though.
You can play RE4 on a graphing calculator.
And you can't play Skyrim on one?
No.
I don't know about that one, big guy.
I'm about ready to look us up while you do the intro. Give me 1 second.
Welcome to Nonstop Debate, everybody. This is where the fucking, what's the saying for, whose line is it anyway? The games are made up and the points don't matter?
Yeah, pretty much.
Except it's more like the characters are made up and our opinions don't matter.
Yeah. Alright, the Resident Evil 4 Wikipedia.
I can't believe we're doing this. Scratch that. I can't believe you're doing this.
No.
We're talking about someone very fun today, who ironically is actually fun. He's like one of the only 3 good characters in this game. And like we talked about last video, it's at the cost of a lot of other things in this chapter. But
right.
I guess also, it pays off, so.
Dylan, it was released on the iOS and a Zeebo.
Yeah.
Yes, you can play it on your phone. You can't play Skyrim.
What the fuck is a Zeebo?
I will check.
Is that like some weird like Google Stadia shit that like only exists in the hearts and minds of like 3 people on the planet?
The Zeebo is a 3G enabled entertainment and education system from Zeebo Inc. It enables you to play video games and connect to the internet. The Zeebo was a target of developed marketing such as Brazil and Mexico.
Literally did not answer my question. Oh god.
It is a Qualcomm. It is basically a Zeebo is the little thing that's basically a GPS. And you can play Resident Evil 4 on it.
Why? I can't. Alright. This is not the information I was expecting to hear going into the Fuyuhiko episode, but alright.
Hey, you questioned my logic.
Alright, fine, you win. RE4 is more ported than Skyrim. Jesus. What a tangent. Holy, yeah. We're not even in the fucking episode yet. Jesus.
Right?
Alright.
I'm a man of sheer focus, determination, and will.
Oh, God. Alright. So, Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu, the ultimate Yakuza.
Boy, did this character flip-flop on design.
Yeah. it's really weird with Fuyuhiko.
You know anything about Fuyuhiko's beta design? He was gonna look like Necromaru.
Yeah, he was gonna be a big fucking buff dude. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, I like the final design better,
right?
Because he's got that fucking he's got that like self-confidence thing where people immediately write him off because he's so like small and he looks so like cute, I guess.
Yeah. Babyface.
Babyface, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. He has that. I remember him saying that a lot early on in the game. Is like, what, you think just because I'm like small or whatever, I look young, that I can't be the ultimate Yakuza or something like that?
I will fuck you up 6 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
And then
he's got fucking potty mouth and a temper to like compensate for it, so I think that's fun.
Turns into a fight from the Yakuza series and he's like beating all the contestants, just like Kuzuryu.
God. I want to hear one of those like animated rap battles between Fuyuhiko and Kiryu.
Kuzuryu wouldn't rap, he would just punch him in the face.
No, but I'm talking about like an epic rap battles of history type thing, where it's like them definitely rapping. Well, they can rap. They can rap, and then it'll end with him punching. How about that?
That would be fair.
Okay.
And then he's gonna go do some karaoke.
But yeah, Fuyuhiko, honestly, design-wise, it's weird. I wouldn't say he stands out like silhouette-wise, but when you're actually looking at him, he doesn't look bad. He's got a nice suit, especially later on when he gets the eye patch. Definitely adds to it, but that's also not something you'd see on the silhouette. So like, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other in his design. I think it's good.
He goes from Dame Dane to Metal Gear.
Yeah. It could be better. It's weird, because it's like, again, it's a good design, but like if you do the silhouette test, he doesn't have any standout features about him.
Well, you're the catch-22. He doesn't have any standout features, but if you put his silhouette among the entire other cast, I'm like, yep, that's Fuyuhiko right there.
Well, yeah. The poses, I guess, are more so what really add to him.
Right.
Because most of them are reserved except for a few.
Most of the time, the silhouette rule thing mainly applies to female characters, because most female characters have that standard pretty girl face. Like, they literally all have copy-pasted faces. It's mainly the guys that are very different.
And a few of the girls, like Sakura.
Yeah, Sakura.
You can't really throw Sakura in there with the others. She's too big.
Too unique.
Too beefy.
But if you compare characters like, for example, Sayaka and any other generic-looking pretty girl character, you would not be able to tell them apart. Hina.
Yeah.
Well, no, Hina has the hair, but maybe like Kyoko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've got elements about them that help them stand out, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said before, a lot of them are like progressions of Sayaka. Sayaka's like base design girl in Danganronpa. Everyone else is kind of like added to or taken away or explored more thoroughly version of her base design. So
then we have Sakura, who's literally just...
Sakura is literally just Sakura.
Sakura is the strength build in Dark Souls. In Danganronpa.
Just put all her starting points into fucking strength, brother.
And continue to only level nothing but strength.
Yeah. But yeah, Fuyuhiko design, kind of in the middle. Yeah. Kind of in the middle for me.
Right, I agree. He's a lot of the character designs are like in the middle of the road in this game.
Yeah.
Ironically, the only one that I think I really enjoy the most is probably Soda's.
Soda's is just very bright, because his color scheme is just composed entirely of bright colors.
Right.
But that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
So.
Another one is Gundam, but we're not going to talk about that.
Gundam has got a very cool design.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Ultimate Yakuza, we already said.
Mm-hmm.
Just means he's a baby gangster.
Baby gangsta.
He is... Would you consider him an ally? He's not technically part of the main three, but he also kind of is.
Yeah, he's really weird.
He's not part of the main trio between Hajime, Nagito, and Chiaki, but he might as well fucking be.
Yeah, considering how much he fucking helps in Chapter 3 onward.
Yeah, I would consider him an ally character, even though he's not part of your quote-unquote main trio.
Right.
So.
Really weird. Fuyuhiko's in a really weird spot because of the way he's written. It almost feels like this is his story, somewhat.
He could have easily just been the protagonist of this game, and I don't think it... If anything, it would have been even better, being from his perspective rather than Hajime's.
Right.
Because you could still have the twist with Hajime at the end, and that would still be cool.
Right.
But, you gotta make your protagonist less interesting, more generic, so that the twist works later, so that the player can, put themselves in his shoes. I think the only role that V3 would really work, is V3, because they make you the detective. You're still the one solving the cases. There's no change there for the player. No drastic one, anyway.
Until Suichi says, fuck you and the game. And
he becomes the ultimate naysayer. But yeah, I think it being done from Fuyuhiko's perspective would have been interesting, which this carries over into the next segment, the death. He doesn't die, but Pekko's execution is more focused on him, and he's gone for most of the chapter after, so
everyone got fucking crazy.
I'm pretty sure he gets more screen time in Pekko's fucking execution than Pekko does. Maybe they're about the same, actually, but it's still
it's still Fuyuhiko
so much of this chapter, and we talked about this last episode with Mahiru, how she gets really outshined by Fuyuhiko this chapter, is because this whole chapter is about him.
It's the Fuyuhiko power hour.
Normally, the chapters have or do bring focus to the murderer and the murderee. Even if it's post-character building after they're dead. I think Chihiro added a lot to his character after he was gone.
I was about ready to say, if you compare the chapter 2s of the first and second game, you could see that chapter 2 of Danganronpa 2 was way more focused on just Fuyuhiko and everything around him compared to, the Mondo and Tako bromance, the Chihiro trying to be stronger, and Chihiro's death, Genocide Jill, Tonakami shenanigans.
There's a lot of good, elements to chapter 2 in the first one, but it doesn't feel like it overshadows the important parts of, Chihiro. Mondo's, I think, could have been done a little better, because it's a bit of a dump, but it's not bad, and it's interesting enough, and if it's your first time playing, you're like, this is going on a little long, but I'm invested, Yeah. Right. So, unless you just don't care for Mondo, at all, then it's probably a bit of a fucking drag, but...
Well, maybe you care for Taka, though.
Yeah, it's good building for Taka, too. There's a lot of good elements mixed in Chapter 2 of Danganronpa 1, and I feel like there's a lot of good elements here, too, for Danganronpa 2. It's just that a lot of that focus goes directly to Fuyuhiko, and it takes away from everyone else involved, like Mahiru, who pretty much halfway through this trial just stops getting mentioned as a fucking character. She doesn't get acknowledged at all. She gets zero character building past her death. Pekko gets some, but it's mostly in reveals of her relationship with Fuyuhiko, and they kind of play off each other with that, but at the end of the day it all ties back into Fuyuhiko and his building for a character and how he moves on past this point. And it just kind of leaves Pekko and Mahiru in the dust. And I know that they die this chapter, but it's that's the victim and the murderer. And I feel like Fuyuhiko needs this focus, but I feel like they needed a bit also,
Do we even mention Ryoma?
Ryoma?
V3.
Oh, and no, Ryoma made sense to me. I thought that was really fitting. It was the nice twist. You get the like reveal of him and what's her name? Toko?
Kirumi.
Yeah, Kirumi.
Yeah.
They freaking I don't know, I liked that one a lot because it made the most sense. You've got the character who has like everything to lose and you've got the character who has nothing to lose, and they just kind of hit a point where they're just like, we can make this work for everyone's benefit.
Right.
Like, that's one of the things I like about V3 is it doesn't like turn anyone into like, no one is already a murderer except for Kyo because he's an asshole. But like literally everyone else is just like realistically written where they're pushed to the point where they have no choice, or at least they feel that way. Like Gonta, he gets hit by the flashback light and he's just like, oh, everyone else is better off fucking dead. And that's why it's such a twist, because no one thinks Gonta's gonna be the fucking killer.
No one in their right goddamn mind.
Yeah, and that's why it works. But that's why it's good, is because these are real. They feel like real characters in a realistic situation where they're like, oh, well, we don't want to kill each other, and it keeps happening because people keep getting pushed to the point where they have no choice but to commit a murder.
Right. Then we go to Danganronpa 2, and then we got Shining Justice.
Peko arguably had a reason to do this, but she has such a like broken psyche for the way that she was raised that only has glimmers of a real person underneath because of her love for Fuyuhiko and his love for her, which I think that's really cool, but it doesn't shine the way that a lot of V3s and even Trigger Happy Havocs do.
I will say though, Fuyuhiko's voice actor fucking killed it.
At
the end of chapter 2.
The English voice actor, probably the Japanese one too. I haven't really listened to the Japanese voice actor that much. I'm sure both of them fucking kill this character, man.
Right.
So, and I know the English voice actor also does the voice of Kokichi in V3, and he fucking killed that one too. So I mean, good shit, man.
Yeah. Kokichi though,
fucking legend.
That guy. Fuyuhiko's great. Kokichi's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Well, because Kokichi has, like, good writing behind his character focus. He's built up. He's around a lot more. He's a lot more engaged in a lot of the big stuff that happens.
Bro, he's around a lot more? He dies in Chapter 5.
Yeah. So.
Fuyuhiko doesn't die.
No, I know. But past this chapter, he also doesn't get a ton of character development either, because it just kind of all happens this chapter. Right. And then he's just kind of around and part of the team from this point on, but that happened in the first game too. It's not that big a deal, but it's nice that things like this stopped happening in V3 and there was still constant character growth as the game went on.
Yeah, I still think, because Fuyuhiko was clearly set up to be the Togami character.
Yeah.
But his heel turn happened in Chapter 3 instead of Chapter 5 near the end of the game, so...
Yep.
What do you do with a character that's supposed to have a heel turn? I don't know.
It's a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do something with him, but if you've already have him turn that corner and hit the end of his character arc, it's only Chapter 2 of 6, you know.
Right. It's really cool having him around, though, at least, but...
Yeah, it's nice knowing that you've got someone on your side like that.
Right. Well, they'll bet you with the stakeout in Chapter 3, too, with him and Hajime.
Mm-hmm. There's a bit of bonding there between... That's when he starts opening up for the first time.
Right.
But I feel like you don't really learn anything about him at that point that you don't already find out in Chapter 2.
Right.
There might be a couple conversations of things that you, like, learn from him that are new, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. And I don't know how important they would be either.
Yeah. Right. And because after Chapter 2, he becomes like the get shit done character, where he's like he's the one guy who's like, all right, we got to get this stuff done. Everyone wants to investigate. He like takes up the leadership role, just like because of his like station, the ultimate yakuza. He's supposed to be like a big boss guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he just starts taking charge of everything, no longer being a loner. Which is really helpful because he becomes really helpful in investigations. Like, holy shit, do you learn when you're doing the gameplay, like the investigations stuff like that, it was always a good idea to talk to Fuyuhiko because he always had some good insight to the investigation, no matter which investigation it was.
Right.
Until chapter 5, when everyone was just fucking clueless and no one was trusting each other, but that's part of the plot.
Yeah, that's
traitor.
God. Nah, yeah, I enjoy him.
Right.
He's very... what's the word? Easily angered. He's got a very short fuse. Aggressive, thank you. That's a good word for it. He's a very aggressive character.
Right.
He's fun to have around. He's a bit of a bro.
This bitch for real?
He's very... I know that I hated him when the game first starts out, because I'm like, God, this dude's such an asshole. And I'm like, why do I keep trying to talk to him? And he just, like, never wants to interact. And then after chapter 2, you know, you're like, I had a whole different set of feelings for him. And I was like, all right, this dude deserves a break. His waifu just died.
and then he did the Yakuza apology and disavowed himself. And you're like, God damn it, Fuyu! Stop it!
I was like, bro, you just got out of the hospital. Stop it.
Appreciate the sentimentality, but god damn!
God. Yeah, I enjoy Fuyuhiko. I think he's a good addition to the game. I think he's definitely one of the better characters, just because of how much focus he got in this game. Even though it was only for this one chapter, really.
Still one of the greater characters in the Danganronpa, too.
Yeah. He's definitely on the... I'd say out of the, like, 3 best, he's, like, number 2.
Right.
That's about where I'd put him. But... Ego Theater time?
Ego Theater time!
Do you have a topic? Because I don't.
Yes, I do. I came up with a topic while we were doing that rant in the very beginning of the game.
Okay. I think I know where this is going.
And now it's time for Ego Theater.
So, right now, I have the official list of every single video game that can be played on a Zeebo.
For a second there, I thought we were going to run down the list of every playable console that you can play Skyrim or Resident Evil 4 on.
But, hold up, let me hit back real quick.
Hold up, here's another interesting one. Resident Evil 4 can be played on the GameCube. Can Skyrim?
No.
That would have been interesting. No, I think this is more interesting. No, I want to know what games you can play on this console that I didn't know existed until like 20 minutes ago.
It's technically not a console, but
still, I want to know what else I can play on it. If I can play fucking Resident Evil 4. Can I play Village? Can I play Resident Evil Village?
No. This was made back in 2009, Dylan.
Oh, Jesus, dude, and it could play Resident Evil 4? What the fuck?
Yeah. They could play Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D.
Okay. What else?
Something called Caveman Ninja.
That's exactly the kind of game I would expect to be playable on a console like this.
Bejeweled Twist.
Okay.
Double Dragon.
That makes sense. Bejeweled.
FIFA 09.
FIFA 09? You can play FIFA.
Galaxy on Fire. Heavy Barrel. Heavy Weapon. Need for Speed. Carbon. Own the City. Quake 1 and 2. Alright. Reckless Racing. Ridge Racer. Super Burger Time.
What the fuck is Super Burger Time?
Oh. I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
You're gonna send me a screenshot?
This is Super Burger time.
Do I want to see this? What the fuck is that?
An old NES game by the looks of it.
Oh my god. Alright, so everyone at home, if you're willing, go look up Super Burger Time. I'm just gonna read a little excerpt here in the screenshot. In Japan, Burger Time... Oh, here we go. Yeah, Burger Time, originally released as Hamburger in Japan, is a 1982 arcade game developed by Data East initially for its Deco cassette system. The player is Chef Peter Pepper, who must walk over hamburger ingredients located across a maze of platforms while avoiding pursuing characters. Wow.
You can also play Tekken 2. Ultimate Chess 3D. Something in Spanish.
Something in Spanish.
Bunch of Zeebo games called Zeebo Extreme, Boa Cross, Zuya Extreme, Air Race, Zeo Extreme Jetboard, Zeebo Extreme Rule Man, Zeebo Family Pack, Zeebo Foot Camp, Super League Sports Pack.
The Zeebo family of games, huh?
They have something called the Zeeboids.
The Zeeboids. Oh god.
Now, Dylan, before we look at this picture, what do you think Oh wow.
I don't know if I want to know. Is it possible for me to... They're Mii's. They are literally rip-off of Mii's.
Yep.
Compatible with Zeebo Football Club. Yo, that's a pog. They're literally just Mii's. They literally just stole Mii designs. They're literally the same head shape and size. Bro, these are literally Mii's. Like, I don't mean they literally are like rip-off, like cheap version looking Mii's. They literally are Mii's. Holy.
Remember those Alice in Wonderland games back in the day?
Are you talking about American McGee, the like super dark gothic one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play those in the Zeebo too.
You can play Alice and Alice Madness Returns on this thing?
Yes.
That's amazing. Dude, Emily and I recorded an episode of a playthrough of Alice Madness Returns that I never edited and released. Maybe I should do that in the channel. That game is actually really cool. Madness Returns is poggers.
And of course, we can't forget Pac-Mania.
Oh, fuck yeah. Pac-Mania? With my boy Pac-Man?
Yep.
Oh, brother. Can he autograph my Zeebo? I'm about to go pick one of these bad boys up.
They're around $500 though.
Why is it so expensive? Who is fucking playing games on this thing?
They are designed to be trucks, Dylan. They're designed to be for truck drivers.
You're saying this is literally a fucking GPS thing for heavy-duty vehicles, and you can play these games on them?
Yes.
Who are these being marketed to? Like literal truckers?
Mexicans and Brazils. People in Brazil.
I should have guessed. Oh my god, dude. That's funny. That's funny.
Anyway, that's the complete list of Zeebo games.
Well, there you go. If any of those games fascinate you and you don't already have like an Xbox 360 or generally anything else that is much cheaper and easier to find, go ahead and go pick up a Zeebo and play your favorite game.
You would be the talk of your friend's circles. Bar none. You hear Billy has a fucking Zeebo and he's playing RE4 on it?
This episode is literally supposed to be about Fuyuhiko. This is the weirdest fucking episode of Non-Stop Debate ever, dude. Jesus. Alright, let's get back to the maid show.
But wait, there's one more Zeebo game.
Oh yeah, which one?
Z-Boids 2.
Boom, boom, boom. I legitimately thought you were about to say Danganronpa.
No. No.
That would have been funny if you could play Danganronpa on these things. Could you fucking imagine? Oh god.
I would feel scam as a previous truck driver.
What if it's got an exclusive new character in all 3 games?
I would feel really scam. So yeah, you guys pick up your Zeebo.
Invasion
Only
of the Zeros.
$500 in Mexico and Brazil.
From this point on, we're literally only posting the podcast on the Zeebo. So if you guys want to continue listening to the podcast series, you're going to have to go pick up a Zeebo and stream it.
Dylan, you can actually do that.
Okay, I was kidding. That was clearly a joke, alright? I'm not serious. You don't have to go buy a $500 fucking Zeebo. What is the streaming channel on it called? Is it called ZTube? ZeebTube?
Oh, let me look it up real quick.
If it's ZeebTube, I'm literally killing myself on air. KMSing IRL, brother.
Called Edge.
Oh, it's Edge?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Strange. But alright. Where were we? How well written Fuyuhiko is. Ah, yes. I think we already covered a lot of this, honestly.
How well was he written on the Zeebo?
On the He's not on the Zeebo. Shut up. Forget about the Zeebo for a second. Oh my god. I think we already covered a lot of how well Fuyuhiko's written.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we didn't explicitly say. I would say he's written pretty well.
Like you said, was in the top 3 characters, he would definitely be number 2.
Yeah, he's well written, but like I said, it's at the expense and cost of like 2 other characters that are important this chapter.
3 if you're counting the Goblin.
I really don't. She gets like no character development in the entire game. Why would I give a shit about her involvement in chapter 2?
Because she was a bunch of red herrings.
She gets like 2 whole seconds of character development when Mahiru's around, and then when Mahiru gets dumpstered this chapter, so does all that character growth for Hiyoko, and Hiyoko just reverts back to being a bitch with like no redeeming qualities. So
Still making fun of Mikon for no reason.
yeah, Mikon didn't do nothing, brother. Chill out.
We get it. You're flat chested and Mikon has big boobs. We know you're jealous. Calm down, bitch.
You fuck off. You fucking. God. Yeah.
Impact, yeah. He has a lot of impact. The events surrounding him had a lot of impact.
Chapter 1 in the prologue, he does like nothing, but that happens with characters like this. Chapter 2, he just kind of explodes, and then he's like a really important mainstay from that point forward.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, again, he doesn't really get a whole lot of building past this chapter.
Right.
But still nice to have around. Did a lot of fun, interesting things with him during chapter 2. I think the angle between him and Pekko is really fun.
It was really nice at the end of chapter 6 where he was like, she called to me when they were all getting back like their faith into doing what they were trying to do, shut the game down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that was the decision, was like, if we shut the game down, then we're gonna like become ultimate despairs again. Because we're leaving the world. So do we stay in the world and be who we are with who's left, or do we shut the game down and become ultimate despairs, but ultimately wake up in the real world again?
Right.
That was like the big decision. There was like no easy choice. That's what the despair was all about. And then Hajime was just like, fuck it, we'll figure something out when we wake up, was basically the like hope he gave everyone.
He was Super Saiyan future.
Everyone was like, but Hajime, what if we're dickheads when we wake up again? And Hajime was like, trust. And they were like, but Hajime, what if? And he's like, trust. And they were like, but Hajime, trust. He's literally just like, trust me, over and over again.
Well, Hajime, and then Hajime screams, I'll never lose anyone again!
Yeah. He gets the end screen. Yeah. God. Yeah, I think for how, like, squandered Peko is, I think they still have a really good dynamic between the two of them. And it's probably, honestly, the only real character development she gets is Chapter 2, because before then, Peko's just kind of there. And it's early, it's Chapter 2, so unless you're spending free time with her explicitly, you're not learning a whole lot about her anyways before she's gone, so it makes sense that she gets a bit of a dump in Chapter 2, but, like, it's only really... Funny enough, just like the way her character is written, she's only really there to serve purpose for Fuyuhiko.
You know what's really weird? I just realized about Danganronpa 1 between Danganronpa 2. In Danganronpa 1, the free times, they, during the story mode, they were trying to steer you towards characters that you should have free time with because they're about ready to die. And in the second game, they're steering you towards free time events to characters that are going to live instead.
Yeah.
Like Sonya, Soda, Chiaki, but Chiaki doesn't live. Nagito doesn't live, but...
I think Chiaki is actually a very, like, good example of this.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that when we get to her in a while.
Right.
I've got a lot of thoughts on Chiaki. This might be controversial. I don't think she's a good character in this game. I have good reasons, though. Trust.
Right.
Trust. Future!
It's not like Joey where it's like, I just didn't like Chiaki.
Well, Joey's playthrough is part of the reason that I have these, like, thoughts. You know?
Right.
Joey's, like, my initial playthrough of Danganronpa 2, I love Chiaki. I was like, alright, I see why everybody likes Chiaki. When I went through it again while Joey was playing and I was watching Joey play it, I kind of, like, opened up a very big flaw of her character for me, and I was like...
Literally spent 0 free time with Chiaki.
That's part of the problem, yes. But, yeah, like I said, we'll touch on that when we get to Chiaki.
Right.
Yeah, Fuyuhiko, impact-wise, Chapter 2, he explodes. He doesn't get a ton of character development past this point. Who does, honestly, other than the people who are being focused on each chapter?
Nagito.
Mainly Nagito, yeah.
But Hajime,
I would still say he's important because he is still a big part of the success for the survivors moving forward, because like you said, he's a go-getter. He's a get shit done type character. Once he's playing for the team instead of being a lone wolf at the beginning, once he flips and he's helping you, he's a big help. Yeah. He helps with everything. I can't really think of anything he does that's actually helpful in the Funhouse, but the Funhouse turns into a fucking, like, Nagito show anyways by the end of it. Yeah. No one really knows how to get out of it.
Well, yeah, Fuyuhiko doesn't know what's going on. He's stuck on the wrong side of the house, so you can't see the murder whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
All the guys are stuck on the other side.
He's stuck on the other side with the killer.
Yeah.
He is kind of important for that aspect because I'm pretty sure the phone call with him is what exposes Gundam for you by the end of it.
Right.
So
because Fuyuhiko's alibi, yeah, it's Fuyuhiko's testimony and alibi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big clue. It's pretty important. Not anything he does directly, not purposely, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but still important. He's He's a helpful force. He doesn't get any like major focus past chapter 2, but he's still a helpful force. He's a good supporting character. Part of the reason I would consider him more ally than just a cast member is because once he flips at chapter 3, after chapter 2's events, is when he's like having a second Kyoko around.
Yeah. He was like what Sakura was in the first game until Sakura died.
Yeah.
Where Sakura would literally recant the events for you in case you forget.
Yeah. He's just a really solid support character past his like big moment, which doesn't really diminish or like raise his score for us at any point.
Right.
But it does lend him to like, you get that build of his character early on in chapter 2, and then having him consistently be helpful past that point, even if it's nothing like major or well focused on, still helps lend him. It keeps you invested in him because you know from chapter 3 onwards you're like, all right, he's part of the team now, and he consistently stays part of the team. And
there is a plot hole though. Fuyuhiko's not the type of character who would you go in and see Mikan and Hajime snuggling. I'm pretty sure Fuyuhiko would not be like, what the fuck are you two doing? Get back here. He would probably be like, yo, my man, you got some food.
He'd clap Hajime real hard in the back and be like, let's go, buddy, let's go. He'd probably be like, what are you two doing in here? Come on, we need to go. And then as soon as Mikan's out, Hajime's the second one out. That's when he like very quietly clap on the back. He's like, hey, good job, buddy. I knew you had it in you.
My man's got some poon. I'm got some respect. I didn't get laid, Fuyuhiko. What the fuck were you doing in there?
He's like, Fuyuhiko, that's not what we were doing in there. And he's like, I'm fellow non-kiss-and teller type. I see you, Hajime. You good, my man. And then he just walks off, and Hajime's like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could see it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the plot hole. The only plot hole.
That's a pretty minor one if you even want to, like, seriously consider that a plot hole, honestly.
Yeah.
He throws enough fucks in there when he walks in on you and Mikan that I'm like, I didn't question it. I was like, no, yeah, that's Fuyuhiko. Rightfully being upset at us being in here while there's a murder. You know?
Yeah.
So. Alright. Anything else to add?
The murder didn't happen yet during that. It was more like the Ibuki was missing.
Oh, right. That was the crisis.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ibuki was missing.
Because I was going to say, that's Mikan's alibi, is that she was snuggling you when the murder happened. Quote, unquote.
Right.
So, I don't know. Chapter 3 is weird. We'll get to that in a couple videos.
That's not the plot hole when we think about the Chapter 3 plot hole.
No, Chapter 3's got problems. I still think it's alright.
I can't get over that plot hole, man.
It's not as good as Chapter 1. It's not as good as Danganronpa 1's third chapter. I would say it's still better than Chapter 3 and V3.
Oh yeah, by far.
Chapter 3 and V3 is like... it's just the one smudge on the otherwise perfectly shiny lens that is V3. It makes me so mad.
At least in Danganronpa Chapter 3, Danganronpa 2 Chapter 3, it was you had no idea who could have committed this until you realized what was going on.
The twist is solid, and things are like, all right, I see how they tried to lay this out, but it doesn't quite line up, but it's fine. V3's third chapter is like, God, this fucking... It just wastes your time.
You know Kyo killed Tenko, and then he's like, well, maybe I didn't kill Angie. We gotta find out who killed Angie. Woo!
You killed Angie. Later. Yeah. We're gonna bitch about Chapter 3 all the way up until we get to that point of E3, and then that video is gonna be like 4 hours long, and we're not gonna be sorry for it.
Let me tell you why this fucked up really bad.
We've already gone over it, but you know, whatever. Let's move on to trivia for a little mafia boy.
$5 says it's gonna be talking about their beta design.
What if his mafia name is Papa Babyface?
Mm.
What if all the Yakuza know him as Babyface? What if that's like his street name? It's like, yo, man, this is Babyface's turf. You don't fuck with Babyface's turf. And he's like, yo, who's Babyface? And he's like, bro, leader of the Japanese mafia, the fucking Yakuza, the ultimate Yakuza. You don't fuck with Babyface. And he's like, oh, shit, Babyface. Yo. I'm going to stop now.
I was gonna say you're going into cringe territory right there, Dylan.
Bro, this is Major Ego. We are literally balls deep in cringe territory 24/7.
As to quote Dustin, suck some ghost on, suck some cock for daddy.
Oh god, that if you ever want to like describe Dustin as a person to someone and what it, like if anyone ever asks what it's like being Dustin's friend, just show them this Aldi-Bet video.
Yeah.
I'll just go through and make like a quick like clip montage of like all the like funny Dustin moments. I should do that. Actually, I should go across a bunch of the videos and just like make a montage of all the funny Dustin screams and noises and things that he makes in all the videos, and then we can send that to people that
fought
are.
For Alien Head. No, Dustin, you fought for 2 alien heads.
His fucking screaming, dude. Dustin cracks me up just by screaming. The noises he makes are so funny.
Fun fact. A little bit of Major Ego trivia. When we asked what kind of sprites that Dustin wanted to be, he wanted to be Chiaki, but I said, no, dude, you scream way too much. You're a Fuyuhiko instead.
Why did he want to be Chiaki? Chiaki's the ultimate gamer. And
yeah,
a girl.
because he thought he wanted to be like the ultimate gamer. And I'm like, no, Dustin, you scream way too much to be Chiaki.
There's a reason Fuyuhiko is Dustin's sprite. I didn't even think about that until just now. Like, we didn't even talk about that, why we used Fuyuhiko for Dustin on the channel, is because Dustin screams. If you watch any of the other uploads with the boys, you know that Dustin fucking screams. That's why Fuyuhiko is his sprite. It's because he's a fucking screamer.
I wish there was more happy sprites though. But
yeah, there's only like a couple Fuyuhiko smiling sprites, and a lot of Fuyuhiko sprites are more reserved with like the hands in the pockets, and Dustin is not really that.
But I don't think I could find another character that can fit his rage and anger more
the angry
Fuyuhiko.
screaming sprite that Fuyuhiko has is like perfectly encapsulating of Dustin's rage. So, you know, it kind of balances out. Oh god. Alright, let's move on to trivia here. His first name, Fuyuhiko, can mean Winter Boy or Winter Prince, while his last name, Kuzuryu, means Nine-Headed Dragon, which happens to be a deity in Japanese culture. Despite his name meaning Winter Boy, Fuyuhiko was born in the middle of summer. Interesting.
Weird.
I actually didn't know that. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, but Nine-Headed Dragon, well, so that means whenever he plays a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, he's the guy who always summons the 5-headed dragon.
The Winter Prince Nine-Headed Dragon is basically what his name means.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. But he's born in the middle of summer. That's funny. His free time events reveal that he hates milk due to being lactose intolerant. I actually don't remember that, and I maxed him out on the free time events in Danganronpa 2. I don't remember him mentioning that he hates milk.
If you give him milk, he probably mentions it as consumable.
Despite the fact that Yakuza members get tattoos, Fuyuhiko states that he does not have any.
Bullshit, I've seen fan art say anything otherwise.
That's just it. That's the end of the trivia.
Bullshit, I've seen fan art that says otherwise.
Right. Fuyuhiko was the first actual person to interfere in an execution, as well as the first person to be harmed during an execution that was not prepared for him. The other being to interfere with an execution was Genocide Jack in Punishment of the Fighter. Punishment of the Fighter, that's Sakura's. No, not Sakura's. Sakura killed herself. What's Punishment of the Fighter? Is that from Ultra Despair Girls?
Yeah, I think it's Ultra Despair Girls.
It is Ultra Despair Girls, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Because I haven't played Ultra Despair Girls. I haven't even watched a playthrough. I honestly don't care that much.
One of the characters that we care the least.
Oh, I like Genocide Jack. I don't like Toko that much.
Yeah. You're going to see more Toko than Genocide Jack.
Yeah. Plus, we were saying that, like, maybe they both had more character development, and Ultra Despair Girls being more prominent as main characters. And Joey played through Ultimate Despair Girls, and he's like, no. They literally didn't change at all from start to finish. And I was like, oh, cool. Thanks for saving me the time I would have wasted playing it.
The only thing I know from Ultra Despair Girls is Monica haunts my dreams.
Yeah. And Komaru, the new protag, Makoto's little sister, I bet she's cool.
Yeah.
The new character, she probably gets the lion's share of the character development aside from the other, like, new cast. I bet that's probably why Toko and Jack, Jill, whoever you want to call them, don't get a lot. It's probably because they have a whole new cast that they got to give screen time to.
Right.
But I still think it's a little weird that if you're going to have Jill and Toko as, like, your secondary protagonists, that they don't get, like, anything? I'm sure they get something, but Joey's a little keen on writing, like, not as much as we are, but still enough to pick up on stuff like that. And if he said there was no development for her, I believe him. Who knows? Maybe we're wrong. If you think she got good character development, leave a comment. I can't believe I just said that. But I legitimately want to know.
Yeah. I mean, me and Dylan, we're the type of people who figured out Tsumugi was the villain of V3 at Chapter 5, so...
Yeah.
Joey didn't figure it out until it was revealed.
Yeah.
In trial.
Yeah. Oh well. Fuyuhiko is the only member of Class 77B to receive an external injury during the Neo World program that matches the same injury he had sustained before entering the program.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is weird. I think it would make more sense if he just, like... Because, like, the Neo World program, when you die in the program, you die IRL because your body, like, dies from shock of dying in the world, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
And Hajime manages to, like, resuscitate everyone. But I think it would have made more sense if you go along with that and say that, like, Fuyuhiko was able to, like, be resuscitated, but his eye was, like, permanently blind from the damage, quote-unquote, he sustained in the Neo World program. I think that would have made more sense, instead of just saying coincidentally he also lost the same eye in the Neo World program that he lost IRL before going in. I think that's a bit more of a stretch.
Yeah, Ultra, that they were the remnants of despair. They all had their body parts. It still doesn't make sense to me where they, like, surgically attach body parts of Junko to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Mikan's the ultimate nurse. She probably helped him with a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So. Whatever.
I mean, Junko was a fucking fine fucking pink slushy, but I guess.
Yeah, that's also true. Hey, I mean, look at the bright side. Nagito gets a really cool metal hand out of it. After years of other trauma that he had to go through.
No amount of reminds me of Fairy Odd Parents. No amount of therapy will ever make up for this.
Yeah. During an island mode date, Fuyuhiko makes references to the Japanese Yakuza films A Man from Abashiri Prison and the Yakuza Papers. That's fun. In Danganronpa, it is revealed that Yasuhiro owes him and his clan $8 million because he extorted money from, quote-unquote, the girl related to the Kuzuryu clan. Yeah.
Oh.
Hiro fucking blackmailed Fuyuhiko's little sister. And then she got murdered. That's funny. That's really funny, actually. That sounds like something Hiro would do.
Yo, Fuyuhiko, hold this L.
You know, come to think of it, that's probably how Hiro was able to afford that fucking crystal ball. Because I remember us saying that, like, he mentions how expensive that crystal ball was when it breaks, and then we're just like, Hiro, how the fuck could you afford that?
Apparently he blackmailed the Yakuza.
Doesn't he say in game that he saved up for, like, his, like, the money he made as a fortune teller for, like, years and years until he had enough, and we were like, damn, brother, did you eat? I think that's how he was able to afford the crystal ball. That's funny, dude. Holy.
Yo, Fuyuhiko, hold this L.
Based on
Sincerely, Yasuhiro.
Based on their interactions in the non-canon V3 bonus mode Ultimate Talent Development Plan, Fuyuhiko is unaware that Hiro scammed his sister, and Hiro is unaware that Fuyuhiko's family is one of the families he owes money to. Okay, so he is safe living in bliss, but the day that Fuyuhiko finds out, he's a dead man.
Echo, get him.
Good. And the final piece of trivia that we all already know, but...
Yo, it switches over to Danganronpa 2, Chapter 2, the reveal of the body, but instead of Mahiru, it's Yasuhiro. The circle is now complete. Yasuhiro has died in all 3 games.
Oh, God. That's funny. Alright, the last piece of trivia is trivia that we all know already. Fuyuhiko's English voice actor, Derek Stephen Prince, also voices Kokichi Oma in Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know his name. Derek, you're a fucking legend, mate.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute fucking mad lad. Literally. And metaphorically. in any fucking definition of the term absolute mad lad. You are it, sir. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So that's it. That's Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu. Jared, what are your final thoughts on Papa Babyface here?
Give it a Zebo out of 10.
Zebo out of 10. I don't know what to rate that.
An 8.
Alright. As an 8. An 8 on the Jared scale. For
the amount of brain cells I lost during this broadcast.
I'm literally going to write Zebo in my notebook next to Fuyuhiko. God. Did you have any final thoughts to add to him besides the rating?
I wish he had a little bit more character development. That's the only reason why he's not any higher up than a 9 on it. 9 on it.
I think the only character that really gets plenty of development all throughout the game is Nagito.
And Chiaki, fuck you, fight me.
Not really.
Fuck you, fight me.
Only if you're doing her free times.
Fuck you, fight me.
Okay, man. Overall, I think Fuyuhiko is one of the strongest characters in this game, which it's not a very high bar, unfortunately, but he has a lot of good elements about him that I think outshine the few negative things about him. There isn't really much negative about him other than I'd say his design is just a little lacking, right? But it's not bad. He's pretty solid, honestly. Most of the cast up to this point has been middle of the road, just like the cast from Trigger Happy Havoc, but that's kind of my problem too, is that this is your sequel. You know, you're ramping things up. You're continuing the story of the first game. You need to have... It's so strange to me that a lot of the writing for the series dipped in the middle and then got better by the third game. It's weird to me that the first game is overall more solidly written than the second one.
Right.
It's so... I don't really understand.
Danganronpa 2 is an exercise of don't put all your eggs in one basket, because clearly 95% of the character development went straight into Nagito.
Yeah, Nagito, Fuyuhiko, and then there was a little bit left over for Gundam. And, that's it. So, yeah. I'm gonna agree with you. I think an 8 out of 10 is pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair. So, yeah, that is Fuyuhiko. That's about all I've got to add. Yep. He's a good character, man. I don't know what else you guys want me to say. He's one of the only 3, maybe 4 solid characters in this game. The rest of them are just missing. So much.
look down there in the description and pre-order your Fuyuhiko themed Zeebo for $7.99.
Oh fuck yeah. You pre-order, not pre-order. You can go order a free Zeebo right now with code Major Ego in all caps, no spaces. We're not affiliated with them in any way. They don't understand how our code keeps working because they keep deactivating it so that people don't get free Zeebos, but we just keep turning it back on, baby.
Unfortunately, you need to go to the dark web and solve a riddle and go pass a pedophile check before getting clearance.
This is a pedophile check. It's like a CAPTCHA. Click this box if you don't fuck children. If you have the IP address of like a confirmed sex offender, you click the box and it doesn't check, and you're like, oh no. This is like the second time. To hell. This is like the second time we talked about pedophiles this episode. What is happening to this podcast?
This is the second time? I thought this was the first time.
No, it's the second time. We talked about pedophiles somewhere at either the beginning or the Ego Theater.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's about 15 minutes to 1 a.m. I maybe it'll be a little lucid. I gotta go find a picture of a guy holding a Zeebo.
Oh, baby. I kinda wanna see what this thing looks like, too.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.